Hi guys, how's it going? I'm James, I'm a native English speaker and I can speak Spanish and Italian. I help people reach a conversational level in different languages. Today, I'm going to talk about thinking in a different language. So most of us, or I think the majority of people, have an internal voice in our heads thinking, okay, I need to do my teeth, I'm washing up, you're in the shower, you have thoughts about different ideas to do with work or any other thing that you're doing. Maybe, oh, I need to take the kids, I need to make dinner, or what am I going to have tonight? That sort of thing. They're your internal thoughts, your internal dialogue or monologue sort of thing. If you are surrounded by a different language, so say you're speaking Spanish or Italian and you're learning it every single day, then what happens is your mind gets into a sort of routine of hearing those words like resonate around you. So you tend to see and hear those words that you hear frequently, and as part of that you might sometimes be saying them and repeating them while in the shower or just doing some mundane tasks like washing up or something. So the point of this video is to tell you that if you're able to think in a different language, in Spanish or Italian, whatever language you're learning, then that massively helps you speed up the process of learning that language and getting better, because not only are you're better able to reconstruct words and sentences, you're better able to make a sentence because you know the words and they're quite recent and you're familiar with them. So if you're brushing your teeth and you're thinking, okay, I'm quite tired, I might say sono stanco in Italian, for example, and that would be basically me telling myself, okay, I'm tired. And then next time I want to say I'm tired to someone, I can say it because I've recently spoke to myself in that language in my head. So if you keep on doing this and you can integrate it into your life, even if you're thinking about doing things on a daily basis, even if you're not saying it exactly grammatically correct, but you know the feeling of it, you know what you want to say, that is good enough, surprisingly. You'd think that you'd need to have it perfect for it to make sense. But if I say sort of imparando, which is the word for learning in Italian, and I just say imparando, and I just say it like while I'm writing some Italian stuff down, or maybe I'm taking something out to my car, for an example, and I say that word, but I can feel it and I know what it means. The next time I say to someone, oh, I am learning Italian, then it comes out naturally because I'm like, oh, I've been saying that to myself for a long time. So thinking in a different language, despite it not being 100% correct, if you are aware that the word is fairly correct and fairly accurate and you have a feeling associated with it because you're thinking about it, your thoughts are associated with your feelings, then it'll be easy to say next time you need to say it. So that's the benefit of passively or thinking in a different language. When you're starting out in language learning, however, that can be very tricky because it's hard to get words together and hard to form phrases. But I remember when I was first learning Italian, I was in the shower and I was thinking, oh, sto imparando italiano, which means I'm learning Italian. And I was saying that because I was saying that to the language teacher who I was having at the time, the Italian teacher on a video call. I was just saying basic words, but I was half speaking in English at the same time. But I kept on saying that quite a lot of the time because I was doing a sort of role play of a scenario where I'm introducing myself to new people, to friends, and I'm saying, oh, I'm learning Italian, I'm English, I'm James, I'm from Manchester. So I was doing that, and because I was practicing it, and then practicing it again in the shower without even consciously doing it, I was just I could feel it, I could hear the phrase in my head going round and around, and I was saying it in the shower. And then I realised, actually, I'm thinking to myself in Italian. It might not be the normal complexity of a conversation you might have with yourself, like, oh, what is the benefit of X, Y, Z or something. It might not be that complex, but if you say anything, oh, I'm feeling warm, I'm feeling cold, I have a headache, ow, my leg hurts, or something like that, literally could be so trivial, that helps you because it keeps the language current in your head. And just like going to the gym, if you keep doing something regularly, you keep it current. In terms of your brain, how your brain works is it has a short-term memory that's finite. It can only store a certain amount of things in it at once, and it has to prioritize what matters most to you to allocate what it stores in that memory. However, after having enough sleeps and with enough repetition of words and new phrases or new information in general, not just language learning, your brain moves items or information from the short-term memory to long-term memory, and therefore it becomes stored for long term, so you're less likely to forget it. So that's how the mind works. And if we can work with the mind and make it the more effectively we can use a mind to help us with our learning, the better it sticks and the more it speeds up the process of learning the language. So that is massively important. So if you're thinking, oh, I need to integrate like thinking in a different language into my lifestyle, but I'm really, really basic, what do I do? First step I would say is if you are trying to learn Spanish or Italian or a different language, make a list of the most common words related to your interest in that language. So if you're trying to learn Spanish and you're interested in football, then even use ChatGPT. That's where AI comes into. You can use AI for things like this, for vocabulary, and ask it for the top 50 or top 30 most common words used in football. And you'll be, okay, cool. And then sort of look through them, learn them, and you don't have to say it out loud, but just say it in your head and have a look at what it sounds like. If you're just seeing the text and you don't know what it sounds like, then use like Reverso or Google Translate on your phone. You can do that easily and just press the audio button and listen to what it says and listen to the accent that they say it in. And then that, hopefully, because it's auditory, it will stick in your head. And next time you hear that out and about or in a conversation, you'll recognise that word. But my point is, have a look at the list, and once you've done that, those words will stick with you. And try and remember them, try and recall them when you're just in the shower or going for a walk or something, and try and just think about them in your head. It doesn't have to make sense. You can just be walking along and thinking, oh, football, like that sort of thing. You can, oh, calcio, which is Italian for football. So yeah, it doesn't have to make sense, but if you're recalling the words in your head and you're thinking to yourself in a different language, that can massively help you learn it. And you'll notice if you're putting in a lot of time and effort into language learning, then naturally your brain will want to, it sort of organises the information, and it does this by making you think through it. That's why memories, if you think them through, your mind's digesting it basically. So it's a natural process for your brain to do in order to help you learn those bits of a language. So you'll find yourself naturally doing it anyway. And that is a good sign of learning a language effectively, because your brain's going over it. If it's going over it, it means you've learned enough of it for that day to matter and to stick in the long term. So that's my advice for today. Please let me know what you think in the comments, and see you next time.